and welcome to the Created to Write show. Today I've got the lovely Karen with me. Welcome to the show, Karen.
You, Michelle. Lovely to be here. Thank you for asking.
You're so welcome. Now tell everyone a little bit about you.
Oh, wow. Big question. Well, my name's Karen Brough. I am a faith girl. So I write under the name of Written by God's Girl in some things in my earlier works, but have moved on from that and just decided to do the brave thing for this little introvert and put it under my actual name. Um, I live in a semi-rural kind of property in Melbourne, just on the Mornington Peninsula, and live with my family, three kids, one teen, two young adults, hubby, business at home. I used to be a teacher before I was struck with autoimmune, and yeah, there you go. That's how I started in the writing game.
I see. I
Yeah.
see. And so you're a writer. What's been the most exciting thing in your writing career so far?
The most exciting thing. I think that's a really big question. I think for me, one of the exciting parts is starting something new. When I write, I tend to write where there's heat. I call it where the fire is, as in where I have a fire in my belly to write in a certain space. Yeah, I think starting something new, then it's all about actually following through with it. I will never run dry of ideas or projects. I have multiple on the go, but I just follow where God's leading me. And that is kind of the exciting part, just to be doing it with Him.
Yeah, sure is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we started recording, I was talking about a moment like that where I felt like I was
Yes.
in a trance writing with
Yes.
God. It was so
Yes.
much
Yes.
fun.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. That's
So
right.
wherever God is, yeah.
Yeah.
And who do you write for? Tell us about what that person looks like.
Oh, it's a good question. I probably write for two fairly distinct audiences. So I have a faith-based audience, and in that space, they might be someone who is struggling with life, struggling with chronic illness, autoimmune, feeling spiritually dry, those who don't know how to hear God for themselves. I love to write in that prophetic kind of space, lots of encouragement, lots of hope, lots of life, lots of practical applications. So I guess the person is a lot like me in
Cool.
that way.
Mm.
And then I put my teacher hat kind of on, my mum hat, and I write in the picture book, children's picture book space. And that is more for the secular audience, I have to
Hmm.
say. I do have plans for faith-based content there, but mine is largely about helping and equipping those people who are in life's challenging seasons. Although I am writing some joyous books now as well, because I don't want to be writing about grief the whole time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Mm.
but that is probably my more well-known kind of space is the grief space.
Mm. So you're writing from past experience and able to then lead people through it.
100%. I hope so. I hope
Yeah,
so. I believe so.
absolutely. That's why God allows us to go through things.
Mm. One of the reasons,
One of the
correct.
reasons,
Yeah.
yes. And tell us about your writing process. What does it look like?
Yeah. I'm a pantser all the way.
Really? I thought being a teacher, you'd be a plotter.
No, I was absolutely terrible at the paperwork side of teaching. But yeah, I remember one of my best lessons ever was when a student brought in a chrysalis, and I just changed everything up for that day. It's like we did maths on this thing because every student was engaged, and I'm like, let's grab this gold and just run with it. So we had maths lessons on it, and English and science, and a treasure hunt at the end, and it was just pantsers. Yeah, that is the way I write. I write where the passion is. And it's what keeps it fun for me and fresh.
Mm,
Yeah.
very cool.
Mm.
And how has faith shaped your writing?
That's a hard question in that I don't separate the two.
Mm,
For me, you know, God is in me. Everything that I write, I feel comes from Him.
mhm,
Um, it may not be all Him speaking, but it is our work together. And so it's a largely together work.
Mm.
And that I will say the times where I have done it without him, like I've been aware of just writing and pushing through that striving space, it's landed flat.
Yeah.
It's not as good. And so for me, it's a partnership
Hmm.
of God and I working together. So I can't separate faith from what I do in the
Hmm.
writing space, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute sense to me. And
Yeah.
life is full of seasons. So, when's been the hardest season of your writing life?
This is very clear. So
Mm.
I wrote a six-book series called Be Held by Him. And originally it started off, it was like a telephone
Mm.
book manuscript, of testimonies and, playlists and activations, all different things. And I gave it to an editor, who I felt God had led me to, and she took 2.5 years to edit this thing. It
Oh,
was
wow.
a long process. And when I got it back, I mean, she was only working part time, so that's why it took so long. When I got it back, I read it, and she had changed my spirit filled, life giving, hope filled kind of voice into something that was quite religious and cool.
Mm.
And I just
Mm.
didn't know what was wrong with what she'd presented. And I didn't know what to do about it because I just spent 2.5 years waiting for this thing to be
Yeah.
finished.
Wow.
And I was devastated because when I said to God, like, why isn't this gelling? Like, and he said, she's taken your voice, she's removed your voice.
Mm.
And I just cried my eyes out. And I literally grabbed that book and I chucked it into the cupboard and I said, I never want to see you again.
Mm.
I'm done. Like,
Wow.
yeah. So that was the most difficult writing moment. There have been many since, but nothing as impacting as that. The good part of it is in that, I mean, it was a form of grief that I was going
Mm.
through because
Mm-hmm.
I just spent, almost 6, 7 years writing this thing,
Mm.
the process to get to that point. And when it came back to me, it was like, and it was a mammoth effort. You would never start your first book
Mm.
as I did. You would never do that.
Mm.
But that's what God told me to do. And so that's what I did. The good thing about popping it in the cupboard and letting it go is that it killed off that emotional connection to it in
Yeah.
me.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it came back, I was now open to ready to listen about how God wanted it to be framed and developed. And so it wasn't one book, it was six. And
Yeah.
it became a lot more user friendly for the reader. Like the first
Mm-hmm.
one I wrote for myself, the second one, it was all about the reader.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is a much better series because of that moment,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
hard, really tough.
And it's such a good lesson for you to learn in the beginning of your writing. So, for those who are new to writing, we all have been given this unique writer's voice. And it's really important for us to preserve it and look after it
Mhm.
while allowing an editor to shape and mold our
Yeah,
writing.
yeah.
So, congratulations for recognizing that and giving it up for a
I
couple of years.
I have learnt so many lessons from that
Yeah.
experience. And I will say, if you've got, viewers who are in that space of just starting, and I love what you said about preserving your voice. I think it's okay to fight to protect that voice. And I've had to do that on many occasions. I think a lot of
Mm.
seasoned writers will understand that space. It's okay to be your own voice's cheerleader.
Mm.
I think in that I've learned a lot of lessons through that experience. One would be just test editors
Yeah.
before you get them to start. That is absolute, and I do that with illustrators too. I test
Mm.
them,
Hmm.
as in send them a sample and say, can you, you know,
Mm.
do what you do, and let me see if we're a good fit. And that's fairly standard, I think, but I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah. I
Mm.
that's a really good one to, yeah, give
Yeah.
people a trial. See if you can work together.
For sure,
Mhm.
for sure. Not every match is made in heaven.
Yeah. And do you have anything else to let new writers know about that you would love to teach them?
Oh, wow. I have so many things I could talk about. I mean, I am writing a course for introvert-friendly book marketing. That's one thing I would say. And so a lot of those kind of life lessons are in that space. But some of the biggest takeaways and what I hope the course will achieve is it's okay to be different from what everyone else is doing. Do you know what
Mm.
I mean? Like,
Mm.
as in your brand and flavor of writing, your brand and flavor of marketing, your brand and flavor of your process. It doesn't have to be what everyone else is doing and what everyone else is telling you to do. Because I believe that God has, made us as unique as, the stars in the sky. Like, we're all very different from one another. So why would one system suit everyone? It's just not reality. So I would say to those readers, viewers, um, be yourself. Like, find out what your strengths are and do everything to those strengths. Play to your strengths rather than, having to work at and strive at those things that just drain you, take life, and steal from your writing time.
Love that. Thank you for
Mm.
sharing. Thanks for being on the show today, Karen. I've thoroughly enjoyed having you here.
Thank you. It's been a joy to be here. Lovely to chat.
Absolutely. And thank you everyone for hanging around. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Go visit Karen online. I'm going to drop her links below. And many of us were created to write. Perhaps that's you.